Hey guys, thank you for stopping by. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. And I hope you enjoyed this interview. All right, welcome back. It's time for our next segment, and we will be looking at the poultry industry in Nigeria. I have two gentlemen joining me. The president of the Poultry Association of Nigeria, Sunday Obiora, is joining us via Zoom. Good morning to you, Mr. Eze Obiora, and thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me, Nancy.
Yeah, I have the DG Poultry Association of Nigeria joining me here in the studio, Mr. Onalo Akpa. Welcome to the program.
Thank you, madam.
Now, I think I will start with the president. President, what exactly is happening to your sector? I've been following the sector closely now for a few years, and whatever I read about you people is that, oh, you are struggling, feed prices are going up. What is the current situation right now? Very briefly.
The current situation is poultry industry is threatened by high cost of raw material. So farmers can no more buy for the cost of feed. Reason is because of the high cost of maize and soybean, which constitute 70 to 75% of the material used to produce poultry feed. That's the cost.
Okay, how much is it being sold for now? How much do you buy feed now? Perhaps a bag, is it like 25 kg, or how do you measure it there? What is it?
It depends on the type of feed. Like broiler feed, majority of the broiler feed now is above 20,000. The cost is because of the raw material. Maize as of January and soybean as of January was 300 and something thousand. As I'm talking to you now, landing maize then with almost 900,000, and the soybean is about 800 or 850,000, and this constitutes 75% of the raw material.
How much were you buying it before? Now that it's costing 20K, how much was it before?
In January this year, it was between 300, 330,000. Now it's 900,000.
Okay.
300, doubled, 300% now.
Okay, so let me come to the DJ. Do you have an idea of how many birds we have in Nigeria? Because FAO, Federal Food and Agriculture Organization, has told us we have 180 million birds, second highest in Africa. How many birds do we have in Nigeria, and how many poultry farmers do we have?
Well, let me start from the second question. From the statistics we have at our secretariat, we have around 8 million registered poultry farmers in this country.
8 million?
8 million registered
in your association?
In our association.
Are they all in your association?
They are,
or
not all are in our associations,
okay.
But the farmers captured on our database is around 8 million poultry farmers. That is the small-scale poultry farmers, the medium-scale poultry farmers, and then the industrial large-scale poultry farmers.
So if I even do a small poultry in my house, I'm also counted?
You could be counted if you are captured on our database.
Okay.
But, you know, membership is voluntary. So we are not forcing you to be a member. But for captured data on our statistics, we have around 8 million poultry farmers in this country.
Okay.
And you were asking about the population of birds. We have around 75 million layers in this country and around 168 million broilers. While the number is this, you know, broilers on cycles of 38 to 40 days, you rear them, you slaughter them. So this is the number of poultry in terms of numbers we have in this country.
How much is 10 kg of chicken now?
Well, this is relative in the sense that if it is live, you know, it varies.
Yes, yes. I'm
now,
talking of frozen.
If it is dressed,
yes.
It also varies. We have small size, we have medium size, we have the bigger size. But on the average, people are selling around 4,500 per kilo.
Per kilo.
Now. And I will tell you this, just like my president said, what is responsible for this is the high cost of production. And the high cost of production is not limited to the cost of basic raw material of maize and soya. There are other factors that are also responsible. The fluctuation of the naira that has aggravated the exchange rate parity is also responsible for basic other materials that is used in poultry productions, like premixes, like inputs. You know, you have to import most of these things. They're import dependent, and you have to import them. So that has already increased the cost of production. In addition to maize, whose prices has doubled or tripled in the last 3-4 months. So you can't variably, if you go to the market today, people will tell you a kilogram of chicken, dressed and frozen chicken, is 4,500 per kilo. Tomorrow, next tomorrow, it might go to 4,700 because energy cost, most of the farms are classified as category A. Now, you discover that it takes a lot of people, the cost of energy is even more than any margin anybody can make.
So most of them are on band A. Is that
Most
what
of
you're
them
saying? On band A.
Most of them are
On band A, isn't it?
most of the farmers are on band A, and in most cases, even public electricity supply is not there. So most of these people runs on diesel. You run a generator. For you to hatch a bird today, consistently, you have to run your generator for 21, 22, 25 days. So what it means is for you to buy a liter of diesel at 1,200, 1,500, depending on the location where you are, this increases absolute cost of so many things, and it is responsible for the high cost of production. And let me add this. Because of this high cost of production, we are having most of the inefficient small-scale and medium-scale farmers closing down.
Okay,
because they can't afford to feed these birds.
That
And
was-
if you afford to feed these birds, you are losing money. So after first, second cycle, they are shutting down.
That's actually what I wanted to ask the president now, that how have your members been challenged? And do you have an idea of how many of your members, their businesses have been shut down? Then the second question is the government responding to your agitations, to your concerns? Have you in any way as an association met with the Minister of Agriculture and Food Security?
Have shut down. A lot, more than half have closed shop because of high cost of production, high cost of raw material and electricity is killing. So many people cannot afford to continue. So we are shutting down on monthly basis. Then your second question about government, yes, we have met severally with the Minister for Agriculture and Food Security. Several occasions we wrote to the president, and sometimes we get their response, but not too much comes from the government. On several occasions, even 3 or 4 months ago, we requested that they should allow us to import feed-grade maize so that we can augment what is coming from the farmers in Nigeria, but there was no response.
Okay.
Had it been they responded, then by now, some of our people might have imported maize for feed production. This could have been avoided. But I'm happy that based on the message released by Minister for Agriculture yesterday, coming from the president, that there will be importation of maize and other material and free duty. I believe if it is properly handled, it will reduce the pressure we are passing through now.
That is the federal government suspending taxes on maize, wheat, rice, and other commodities. So do you think it would reduce the pressure despite the administrative bottlenecks that we'll also see in terms of importation?
If it's properly handled, yes.
Okay.
But that is a kind of, this is a palliative, but it will not solve the problem we are facing.
Exactly, because it's just for 150 days.
We need to go to the fundamental. What is causing this problem? Which is insecurity. Our farmers cannot go to the farm now and to their farmland and farm and bring out those materials we need. So everybody, all the farmers are afraid. Most of them have been relocated. Most of them have stopped going to their farm. So importation is a kind of emergency measure, but it will not solve the problem.
Okay, DG, with what we've seen so far, what is the outlook for your sector? Because if many smallholder poultry farmers are already shutting down, like the president has said, you're a bit encouraged with what just happened, the announcement by the federal government in terms of suspension of a duty on food products that would also impact your sector. What is your future outlook for it?
Well, to us who have spent all our life in this sector, it's alarming. It's alarming in the sense that right from October last year, we saw this scenario. And when we met this scenario, we wrote to the Honorable Minister of Agriculture and Food Security, and graciously he attended to us. And we told him, by March, April, May, we might run into crisis because the crop harvest that were expected in 2023 were not encouraging at all. And we told them at the level at which there was this price movement, considering the supply and demand friction, that there was going to be crisis. Allow us to import maize at free duty and free VAT. Oh, they promised us they were going to allow us to do that. But 9 months down the line, the situation has gotten aggravated to an extent over 40–50% of the poultry farms in this country are closing down. With a population of 210 or about 200 million persons, our protein intake is the lowest you can find in sub-Saharan Africa. If it is the lowest in sub-Saharan Africa, it should be the lowest in the whole world. While protein intake, especially poultry protein intakes, hovers between 23 to 43 kilograms per person per annum in other countries between 1963 and 2021. We are still below 5 kilograms per person per annum. Today, with the high cost of production and then the poverty staring on the face of Nigerians, a lot of people are running away from even taking all kinds of protein,
Exactly.
even plant-based protein.
I was coming
So how
to
do you
that.
come to animal-based protein? So this is invariably affecting the health of Nigerians. It is affecting the growth of Nigerians. It is affecting the stomach infrastructure, which is food security.
It will also affect our longevity,
It is
like I
also
mentioned
affecting our
before.
longevity.
Yeah.
And I continue to tell people that poultry, people consider it, oh, you are in the private sector, it is your business. It is not our business. It has economic, political, and social dimensions that if it affects this country, and then we do not take anything serious about it. And that is why when I appeared on a program yesterday on channels, I said it. The government should declare a state of emergency directly on the poultry production in Nigeria because the situation is getting aggravated. There is the school feeding program that has been suspended for almost a year. I did a rough calculation. I just attended a meeting with them. I did a rough calculation. If 14 million children within the junior primary school are going to take 1 egg per week for 4 weeks in a month, then we need 1.9 million crates of eggs in 1 month. In 12 months, it will be around 22 million crates of egg. And today, we are unable to meet. Do we now go to import these eggs, table eggs, or any other thing for Nigerians?
I think we'll leave it at that for now. But President, in just 15 seconds or so, do you have any other thing to say in terms of recommendations? Because we've got to go now. My
recommendation is let government set a meeting between the ministry and the poultry industry. Let us sit down and dissect what is the major problem we are facing and provide solution.
Okay. So thank you.
Serious crisis that need the attention. It's not something that we see on national newspaper or television. Government should invite us and be deliberate about the discussion.
Okay. Okay, I think we'll leave it at that because we've run out of time. Thank you very much for coming. Mr. Sunday Eze-Obiora is the President, Poultry Association of Nigeria, and Mr. Nalo Akpa, DG, Poultry Association of Nigeria. That's the show today. Thank you all for your company. As always, I am Nancy Naji. Be the best you can be and be the change that you want to see. Bye now. Thank you for watching. In case this is your first time watching us, thank you. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, drop your comments as well as like, and most of all, share our content.